Hello and welcome to the Nash Tackle Off the Hook podcast. Just to make you aware, this podcast may contain some explicit/offensive language, and if that's not your thing, you don't have to listen, but I have given you a warning. I hope you enjoy the rest of the show.
You don't know the half of it, but anyway. I'm skating on the thinnest ice known to man.
He said, and they put a poison in the tank that just instantly kills them. He went, we've run out of it, so we cut their heads off with shovels.
Suddenly, bang! The whole boat exploded.
Take your sort of 8-inch long piranha and imagine that at 4, 5, maybe 6 feet.
I said, I've revived your dead fish. F off, he said. You haven't.
That was just humongous. It was... I couldn't believe what I was looking at.
I'm just battling this fish out in the pond. I know it's a black man. I'm saying I'll never be a naughty boy again.
If you catch fish and you return them to the water, then you are my brother.
Bobby Zamora, welcome to the Nash podcast, mate. How are you? Well?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Pleasure, absolute pleasure to be here. It really is, mate. So, watched and listened to a few of these. So, yeah.
Bless you, mate. Honestly, I massively appreciate you coming in. You are looking like, as Ali calls you, the pebble, mate. But I think you're more Dwayne the Rock Johnson than anything, because I'm not going to get the wrong side of you early doors, mate. I don't fancy getting smacked. You've been working out, mate. You've been busy. You've been fishing as well,
mate. Just juggling so much, mate, spinning so many plates at the minute, so there's a little bit of everything going on in my life at the minute. So yeah, I haven't fished as much as I'd like to. At the start of the year, you always do. I think, right, I'm going to smash it this year. I'm going to get on the syndicate. I'm going to put the hours in. I'm going to catch those fish that I want to catch. But it hasn't turned out like that. So, yeah, I've been down there, and to be honest, the last time I went, it was like off the cuff, right, let me get down there, threw the stuff in the van, got down there. Listen, I'm just pleased to be here on the syndicate, put in a couple of hours, amazing. Ended up having 4 hours. I was like, yes, amazing. And it isn't an easy place to go and catch. So, yeah, I was buzzing with that, but no, not fished as much as I'd like to. But when I do, mate, I have been to some mega places and caught some mega fish. So
we were saying this off camera, weren't you? You were saying you got plates to spin, you don't get out maybe as much as you'd like to, but when you do go, it's some mega fishing in it.
Yeah, mate, that's the thing. And listen, I've got a few businesses that I'm involved in, and obviously a family as well, you know, the kids and seeing them and spending time with them, and one of my businesses, I have to travel quite a lot. So like I say, there's a lot going on, and then there's the filming with Al, and that takes up, 2 weeks at a time. So there's big chunks, and you get your fishing fix, but it is different sort of fishing to what I'm used to. There's pressure to it, and there's stop, start. You need to do this, you need to do that. Can't cast that yet. Wait a minute, it's a fish underneath my nose. Your rod can't go out yet. Wait, the crew's got to get there. So that is frustrating. That's what I found really, really, really frustrating. But on the flip side, our first season was in the UK, and got to go to some mega places and had some mega fish as well, mate.
We've seen little glimpses on the old social media of stuff, man. I'm looking forward to the series coming out. When this comes out, it won't be far away. It might have even been out the first episode, because it's October time it's coming out, isn't it?
Beginning of October.
So look out for that. But I'm sure it'll be a thoroughly entertaining, grand fishing adventure series, mate. I look forward to it. First experience. We're going to talk about loads of different aspects with regards to you. Obviously, you said there you're busy, but we're going to talk about your angling and the filming and everything involved with dealing with Ali day to day as well, mate. But we're going to start. I've got to start with football, mate. Yeah. Incredible career. Like, it is the dream for so many kids, obviously, to achieve it, to be in it, to play at the level you played at is, massively, like, inspirational for a lot of kids. For you, football, always going to be a footballer, your first love, always was going to go down that route?
Was always that, mate. Was always football. I genuinely still, you get asked, what would you have done if you didn't play football? I genuinely have no idea. I really, really don't. I would have probably had all the badges at McDonald's by now. I would have been, manager at a branch somewhere, genuinely. But football was the only thing I wanted to do. Obviously, had the talent and something I desperately wanted to do. So, you take your knocks and you get your disappointments, but the desire was there and wanted to work hard. And, I remember, having pre-season and retiring Ian Holloway, was the manager at Bristol Rovers, running past him. And he used to win all the races in pre-season. And the youth team would have a group and they'd go off and do their runs, and the pros would have their runs, and then the quickest group would be put together, the medium group, and then the goalkeepers and the fatties at the last, and they'd have their pre-season. At the end of pre-season, you'd have your final run to get what your times are of a certain run that you used to do at the training ground. And Ian Holloway had always won. Anyway, we've done this run, and I'm the last. We're on the last two corners, like it's a little bit uphill and then banks right and towards the finish line, and I'm just on his shoulder the whole way. And up the hill, I just drop it down again and go past him and chuck it to the right. And after that, he's like, right, that's it, I'm retiring.
Done.
And he retired. So I was like, I've retired the manager.
He's a character, isn't he, mate?
Yeah, mate, he's got some energy, the man. He has. He really has. He's
some of his
guy.
clipped team talks or just like interviews after a game, absolutely legendary, mate.
He is brilliant. He really is. And do you know what? He's like that every day. But just seeing Alan outside, he's one of those guys, again, the enthusiasm, the energy. Yeah. You can't help but actually do you know what I mean? I just see it first time I ever really met him. Oh, love you. Big hug. Absolutely love your enthusiasm. That's,
Yeah.
And Ali's exactly the same as well. You just hats off to those guys. The energy day in, day out. Obviously, they get their highs and lows, but
of course,
characters.
That's life, though, isn't it, mate? You've had a few of them throughout football and everything else as well. Pretty much your whole career, mate. You spent in and around London, didn't you?
Yeah.
How does that work? Do you have an influence with where you get moved to?
You do a little bit, but I heard a saying, grim up north, and I think that's the same for fishing as well, right? I mean,
I live in Manchester now. You're doing to me here. The wages will be all right in Manchester, though. I bet.
Yeah, cool. It's not bad picking one of those two teams up there, but you have a little bit of input, but just fortunate enough for me, really, being a London boy, and luckily enough to play for 4 London clubs. So, Buzzing and Brighton being another one as well down south. So, I've not had too far to travel, not too much upheaval in terms of moving house and all of that stuff that I do know a lot of players have had every year or every 18 months, 2 years, packing up and moving. That's the other end of the country. Just tough. Yeah, that's hard. It is hard, and the kids that have got to change school, make new friends, become best friends, lose their friends. That's hard. And do you know what? People don't see a lot of the hardships that footballers do have. And listen, I suppose they do see Premier League players and they read about the guys on the mega money, but it's the rest of the football world that is a hard graft. Listen, I've done my apprenticeship at Bristol Rovers. My first real club was Brighton in Division 2. I went all around the country, do you know what I mean, on a coach, and just shitty little hotels, do you know what I mean, staying overnight. Like, people don't see those parts of football and those clubs and the journeys, but I wouldn't change it for the world, really. I wouldn't, because I think I appreciated when I got there. Listen, there's a step next year. Can I get into League One? Yeah, we won that league. All right, can we get in the Championship? Can I play in the Premier League? Can I play for England? Do you know what I mean? All those dreams as a kid, and go in there, getting around the houses, around the M25 to get there. Absolutely appreciate, you know what I mean, where I ended up and doing the things that I've done, and just, so blessed. But listen, yes, fortunate and right place, right time, and talent, but there's a hell of a lot of hard work. Hell of a lot of hard work. And you don't get where you want to go in any industry without a little bit of graft, mate. You don't. It doesn't just fall on your lap. So, yeah. And
sacrifice, mate. I've had it in a weird sense speaking to some anglers here that probably do, if you like, the top 5% of angling. They're fishing for the Burfield Common and the likes of. And you see that family life, it could be completely non-existent for a lot of them. There's not a lot of social time. They'll prioritise that above everything. And as you said there so rightly, you need that in order to be successful. For you, in terms of that discipline, and to be fair, post sort of coming out of football, you're still disciplined in terms of your training. You still train regularly. You see it on your social media. You're still sort of active and busy. But when you're actually coming up through the ranks, if you like, and sort of proving yourself, do you think that attitude, is that the difference between success and failure with a lot of people that you go past?
100%. I've seen so many talented players, young players, that think it's just going to happen because they are world beaters, and they are absolute world beaters. Like, but if they had the mindset of somebody that really wants it, they'd go and they'd be bigger than Messi and Ronaldo. Really, there are so many of those as well. There are so many of those cases. I mean, I played with a couple. I played with a guy called Stefan Dalmat at Spurs.
Yeah.
And he played for, I think, PSG or Marseille and Inter. Mourinho had him at Inter. He was just like a loon. He came off at half-time one game, right? Just after half-time, came off the pitch rubbing his hamstring, walked straight down the tunnel. We thought, all right, he's pulled his hammy. They put a sub on and go in the change room afterwards. Where is he? Nowhere to be seen.
What?
He'd just gone home because he realised that the flight he'd booked, he couldn't get to the airport in time after the game. So he thought, well, I'll tell you what, if I come off before half time, I'll miss the traffic, be able to get to the airport. Didn't come back for like 4 or 5 days. Went back to, I don't know, Belgium or wherever it was. Or
how does that go down with the manager?
Yeah, mad, mate. But he would, like I say, just absolutely. You can if he in training, if he had the ball, you can't get off him. Wasn't getting off him. Ravel Morrison, another player, like, absolute talent. Adel Taarabt, again, unbelievable. But just, there's a little something not right. But and then you've got the flip side. You've got players that have achieved a lot. Gary Neville, Phil Neville, those guys have achieved a hell of a lot. They even hold their hand up. Listen, not the most talented player, but I'll work hard. I'll be busy. I'll go and pick up cones after sessions. I'll go and, you know what I mean?
Northerners, mate.
Yeah, well, yeah, just a little, just happy to do a little bit of graft and put the hours in and do what it takes. And that's the difference. And it's the difference in every industry. Like you say, those guys that want to go and target a fish, and they're not going to give up until it's gone. Until that fish is in the net, I'm going to keep going 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, keep smashing that lake. And you don't catch the fish unless you're on that, unless you're, on the bank. It's that simple. It is that simple. Unless you put in you ain't got a rig in the water, you're not going to catch your fish, are you? So
what's the realities of being in a team like? Because I'm thinking about like the team here. Like, it's great banter, it's great crack. Obviously, there's highs and low moments, there's busy moments, stress moments, whatever. But you have that. I don't know. You have that core. It could be going terrible, but you go in there and Tommy or Dan will take the mickey out of you, or there'll be a conversation about something innocuous, and you're all right. It levels you out. Is that the same in a football team?
Exactly the same. And that's that. Yeah, you missed that. That's probably the best part of being a footballer, going into training every morning, having a laugh and a joke, really, like, genuinely. Do you know what I mean? Seeing those teammates. You might not get on with everybody, but majority of the lads, good as gold, amazing banter, ruthless banter. You know what I mean? Mate. So just like you said, it's just an amazing thing to go and do as a job. I was just saying to Alan, again, coming in, mate, amazing. What about you here? This place, this is work. And he was like, look, yes, it's amazing. The same as us, good days, bad days. But if you're going to say you were going to work somewhere, wow, what a place to work.
Yeah, not bad if you like a bit of angling. Not bad if you like a bit of football, mate. It's a good lifestyle as well, by the looks of it. But realistically, in career terms, mate, when you came about, and we said this before, the sort of generation before, if you like, of footballers, and I marked like I was with the Outlaw guys and did the Outlaw Pro thing with like Frank McAvenny and that generation. That was a different culture to when you played football. There was there was a lot more sports science input, a lot of lifestyle stuff within there. Before that, it was a bit more of a social drinking scene, maybe.
Yeah, a free for all, really. But the game's just evolved, and it's more and more of a business year on year. And I used to do at pre-season. You'd go in, you'd do your runs, and then you've got like a media day or a press day or 2 days, and you go in and you're thrown in front of camera. Right, you need to say this line and you need to do this. And you're saying things in Chinese, like, like 1 or 2 lines. Yeah, you have no idea what you're saying, but you've got to say it. And in a couple of other languages. And at the time, you don't think anything of it. As soon as I retired, and I do a little bit of media stuff. Yeah. And I'm doing some stuff for like Malaysian TV and you realise, Jesus, the Premier League is massive. Absolutely. An absolute beast. And year on year, it's just getting bigger and bigger. But the generation, like you say, the Frank McAvennies and Tony Adams and Paul Merson's, those guys, they could get away with anything really. Now it's changed that there are camera phones, and sitting in a pub after a game doesn't really go down well. You get, and it's just an evolution of the game. But I think my era, to be honest, my generation was probably I wouldn't fault it, just because I had a little bit of everything. The camera phone sort of came towards the end, and you could really have a good night out still, and there was a real good balance. So the guys now, the lads coming through, but I think a lot of those guys have embraced it. So they're all on the social media, the TikToks, definitely, and all that sort of stuff. So this generation, they're embracing it and going with it. So but again, that's a massive tool and a massive advantage to those guys. So
the buzz, mate. Do you miss that? Because like the massive crowds, as you said, it's massive now. But when you played for like Fulham and all those sort of real big clubs in and around London. Like you played for England. Like they're massive crowds, mate. There's people screaming your name. There's winning games. There's like big moments. There's a whole lot of adrenaline and feeling and everything in that. Do you miss that?
Like I just touched it, I do miss the Saturdays, and I do miss the games, and I do miss some of those mental nights, that Fulham side that we went to a European Cup final, and beating Juventus at home, and Roma and Shakhtar Donetsk and all of those mad teams, and going to Wembley, scoring in front of 90,000 people, and so running out with an England shirt on. Yeah, those buzz, that's a real buzz. But for me, like I say, the training ground was the one. Going in every day, enjoying training, enjoying seeing your mates. Just where that's the part I miss. And at the time, you take everything all for granted as well. Like again now looking back, you see an Old Trafford and Anfield on the TV, and I used to go to Old Trafford and used to go to Anfield, touch this is Anfield sign on the way down, and just. Yeah, whatever. It's normal. Now, what I'd give to be able to go back and just run out Anfield one last time. Do you know what I mean? Yes, I do miss those parts, but the training and being around the guys on a day-to-day basis, that was class. That sort of camaraderie with all the boys.
You must have loads of memories, mate. But what sticks in your head when you look back at there's West Ham, there's Spurs, there's loads of amazing clubs in there. What are the things that really sort of resonate moments? I mean, you've had some bad ones as well, injury-wise, haven't you? But for you, when you look back, I know that's hard.
Yeah, a few, mate. Obviously scoring winning goals in playoffs was good for West Ham. Obviously, that's a team that I support. Getting them back up into the Premier League, obviously, again, with QPR. But walking out of Wembley with an England jersey, that was... As a kid, you dream of it. I remember literally school at the end of my road, running around, for England, bang, scores a goal. Do you know what I mean? And then going out and playing at Wembley. I've got unbelievable. Honestly, unbelievable. That is. Yeah, but some amazing nights, mate. Like I say, beating Juventus with the likes of Del Piero and Trezeguet, World Cup winning centre half Cannavaro, sticking him on his arse and volleying one in. That was an amazing night. So, but so many, mate, so many. Just so blessed to have had an amazing career and been to some amazing places. And
toughest bits. The other side. Injuries is hard. But
you're coming back, but you're just missing game. In my mind, it was. Although I broke my leg, I never thought I'm not going to play again. Okay. I just thought, it's a matter of time. It's 6 months or whatever it is. So but that's just hard in the gym on your own. Everybody's outside. You're just on your own, like trying to get fit with like one physio. That's hard. But there's so many sacrifices people don't see. We sort of touched on nights out and like New Year's, Christmas, all those sort of things that you've probably heard, but I don't think you really take it into account of what that actually means. And so many times, go out to dinner with friends or family or whoever it is, not having a drink. Not that I relied on a drink to have a good time or anything like that. But it was just, just those hours. All right, 11 o'clock. Yeah, I'm off. Nice to see you, everyone. See you later. I'm off. I've got training tomorrow morning. Just those little parts on a regular. Well, for 20 years, those are the parts that people don't see, and the sacrifices that you don't see. But you know you've only got a short career. You know that it's going to come to an end one day, and you just got to suck it up and enjoy life afterwards. If that's what you want to do.
It seems pretty ruthless, mate. Full stop. Like, in terms of the football world, absolutely ruthless.
Yeah,
as much as it's glitz and glamour and amazing,
absolutely cutthroat. Genuinely is. I say to a lot of the young guys, literally get everything out of the game, because when it's done, it's done. They like clubs don't give a shit.
Do they not?
Nah, I don't give a shit. I left Fulham. They took all my pictures down the same day, like around the training ground. You know what I mean? Like
brutal, isn't it?
Like don't hear from. Like,
you rang up Fulham now and said, "Look, lads, can I have some tickets? I sort you some tickets."
Possibly, but it's just the fact that I was there for 4 years, had probably one of the greatest nights in Fulham's history.
Yeah,
and just forgotten about. Just see you later, out the door. And a lot of people you are a piece of meat. Owners, like clubs, you are just on to the next one. See you later. Dead, finished. Brands, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you can have sponsorship deals for years with. As soon as you finish playing, see you later. Yep. Can I get a no? Do you know what I mean? Just don't pick up the phone to you. It's a ruthless business. So when people say, "God, he's on too much money," all right, fair enough. You're only worth what someone's willing to pay, though.
True.
Do you know what I mean? So don't ever feel guilty for getting paid whatever you're getting paid, because if you weren't, you wouldn't be paid it. And listen, like I say, when the game's over, are you? Can I do? No, they won't. Yeah, see you later. Boom, door closes. It is genuinely like that. So ruthless.
That is ruthless.
If you're injured, like they'll be manager. If you're injured, manager won't speak to you. Don't say hello in the morning. Like genuinely, it's like
are you taking a
it's mad, mate. Honestly,
I haven't chosen to get injured.
It's crazy.
Here,
I know. It's crazy. Yeah. And if they want you out of the club, they'll treat you like a piece of shit. I've seen players get taken in from 7 o'clock in the morning and been asked to run around a training ground until like 1 o'clock, like starting with one guy just blowing a whistle, run around the outside of the training ground just to break him so that he goes,
I want
to go. Like,
that is
honestly,
ruthless, mate.
Honestly, yeah. I've seen it, mate. Seen it.
I do not fancy that, mate.
Yeah, they just treat like get you in first thing. No, you can't go until like whatever. Do you know what I mean? You need to do this, you need to do that. Just try and just break it, just so that transfer window's coming.
What about on the pitch, mate? Significant like in terms of just people that are hard to play against on the pitch. I mean, you're a centre forward, you were lively, mate. You do everything from sort of hold the ball up well, link play, as well as score loads of goals, mate. But like you've come up against some big old centre halves, mate, and different.
Yeah, some good centre halves. Vidic and Ferdinand were monstrous too, and John Terry and Carvalho were an amazing pairing as well, really. Those two pairings were probably the best. You know, you'd have Vidic smashing his nose against the back of your head and Rio looking like a Rolls Royce.
Send him in.
Yeah, and JT and Carvalho were just two animals as well. So I grew up playing with John, same Sunday side and everything. And I remember starting a game one day, and he was like, "Right, mate, we'll have a deal. What? All right, listen, you can control the ball and just lay it off. Just don't run the channels, though. I don't want to run the channels." All right, cool, sweet. First ball comes up to me, crack, straight through the back of me. I'm like, fuck, right. Just started running channels to try and piss him off. Like, yeah. That's some good.
He likes a bit of fishing, doesn't he?
Yeah, he likes his fishing. Again, he's more of a golfer, but has always had a soft spot for fishing.
There's quite a few, isn't there? Quite a few.
Yeah. Lee Bowyer and Nobes, one of my best pals. He loves his fishing as well, so I'm sure he'll be coming out.
He's retired, isn't he?
Yeah, he's retired. Yeah. He's still on holiday until I think mid-September, and then he comes back. Well, as soon as the kids go back to school, then he's back, and then I'll be able to grab him. And I think we've got a couple of days penciled in to get a few 24, 48 hours.
Yeah, nice, mate. How does it factor? Because obviously you liked fishing from an early age, am I right? Bit of a family influence, and that's how you got into it?
Yeah, Granddad took us, and then my mum's old school friend, her husband and son fished, and when in the 6 weeks holidays, we'd go over and stay with them for a little bit. And they lived in Norfolk, Thetford,
Right.
So there are plenty of lakes around there, and that's when I first saw carp fishing. I think like monkey climbers, and do you know what I mean? The dad was into that, and the son was into pike fishing, zander, and I was like, oh god, this is mustard. So really flipped it then, and got into it, and yeah. Absolutely, the real buzz started.
How did that factor in when you're playing football, mate? Because I'd imagine life is quite busy as a footballer, mate, isn't it?
Yeah.
Even though people don't say it's like chilled, you're doing quite a lot.
Yeah, you don't really get the chance to do 24 hours, really.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to put the hours in. It really, 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 really is. So it is just juggling and seeing when you get the odd day off or 2 days off and international break. And if you're not, that's the only sort of times. And if you've got a family, those extra days, it becomes really, really hard. And you need a lake literally at the bottom of your road if you want to be able to do any real amount of time. Do you know what I mean?
Did you do much? Where was you fishing during that time?
Well, I lived in Sevenoaks back then, and there was a lake at the bottom of the road from me.
Right.
So I ended up being a syndicate. The owner was spot on. The head bailiff was spot on. Yeah. So I used to be able to strap my rods to my quad bike, drive my quad bike down the bottom of the road, go in and ride around, to be honest, and like jump off. Dog biscuit. It was like summertime, so those would be the best times for me because sun will be up till late, fish on the top, just jump down, rod together, bang, fire a couple of dog biscuits in a few different spots, go round, right, okay, bang, they're on them now, bang, try and nick a few out. So didn't do too many overnighters there, but it was just, right, I've got 4 or 5 hours, I can get down there, the sun was out, do you know what I mean? Polaroids on, seeing those fish. I love a bit of stalking, and so yeah, that was my fix really, and I could do that pretty often from pre-season till sort of September September time really.
And you lose the light, don't you?
Yeah, then you lose the light and the fish aren't cruising around depending on the weather. But that was my fix.
Why do you think carp fishing, in terms of like, as I said before about the parallels of like mega active, busy training schedule, loads of games all the time, a lot of pressure, work, football, massive buzz. Carp fishing, yes, there is a massive buzz when you catch one, but there's long periods potentially of inactivity and relatively static depending on age.
Yeah, it's quite strange really, because in the training grounds, people used to say like, where do you get your bloody energy from? Like, do you know, I used to say, listen, I used to come in the training ground, just be like a whirlwind, Tasmanian devil, just terrorising people, physios or players or wherever it is, just non-stop talk, chatting shit. And then I say, listen, as soon as I get home, I just go, lick my fingers and stick them in a plug socket and recharge till the next morning. So fishing and carp fishing worked out really well in terms of, going, chilling out. And people say, how can you manage to do that? You can't sit still for 5 minutes, but yeah, there's the two separations. Used to love the boys and the entertainment of the training ground. But yeah, on my quiet time, used to go home, switch off, take the dogs for a walk, you know what I mean? Like real boring, quiet things. And a lot of people at training go, that can't be you. That isn't you though. That's not the same person.
Bipolar.
Yeah, pretty much. So, but yeah, carp fishing was just a nice relax, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? You got the mad couple of hours of the setup and you're there and boom, you're set for the evening. Just, it's beautiful though, isn't it? You know, when you're sat by the lake, just taking it all in. Oh, you can't beat that. Wake up in the morning, sun's just coming up, mist off the lake.
Yeah, mate, they're mega moments,
mate,
aren't they?
You just can't. And when you take a photo of it, it just doesn't do it justice. Don't care what camera you got, what it is, it just doesn't do it justice at all. Yeah.
Why carp? Carp?
I think, like I said, I touched on going with family, friends, and seeing that carp catching roach, perch, a few tench and crucians, little bits and pieces, and then going and seeing the setup of carp. Like I say, those he did have bite lines. He didn't always use them, but he had monkey climbers, and just seeing that thing shoot up, do you know what I mean? It was like, wow. And then seeing this big lump out, I don't even know how big. I'm going to say it was probably about 16, 17 pound, the first one that I saw, but I remember thinking,
massive.
Wow, that is huge. Do you know what I mean? Seeing the bend in the rod and the beefed up gear.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And understanding, wow, this is what it's all about. That got me hooked. And then you just have the progression, didn't you? With your rod, test curve. What's that? Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna getting involved in test curve now. And all right, okay, line. Actually, it's more than £5 line out there. Oh, what's that all about? Bait runners. Boom. Do you know what I mean? Oh, what hair rig? Bang. So yes, it's just a progression, like everybody does, mate. That gets into carp fishing that has match fished or course fished. You know, from the start. It's just, and then you have that bend in the rod for the first time, or you have that experience and that with a carp, and then it's game on. There's no
your first one there? First one in Norfolk, yeah?
No, I ended up going to Broadlands.
Yeah.
My grandparents lived in Bournemouth, so I ended up taking some rods. I used to go fishing in New Forest a little bit and catch little carp. And then, like I say, the progression beefed up my gear a little bit and ended up going to, I don't know how I ended up getting to Broadlands in terms of, Google wasn't about then. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. I must have gone into a tackle shop in Bournemouth. Where's a good place over that way? It wasn't close to me nan and granddad. So my mum dropped me off in the morning.
Yeah.
I must have been 11.
You're 11, so you were quite young then, yeah.
12 maybe, yeah. And then that's it, yeah. Go. And I ended up, again, daunting though, isn't it? Going to a big water, and like where you're used to fishing smaller lakes, and then
puddle,
bam. And I thought, right, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to fish a big body here. I'm going to stay close and have a little bay. There was a little bay, and I just ended up fishing a little bay, and a couple of hours towards the end, boom, rod went off, and it was £24, and that's for me,
ridiculous, mate.
Honestly, blew my mind, absolutely blew my mind. So, unbelievable. Managed to get someone to take a snap of it.
Have you got the snap? Yeah.
It is somewhere, yeah. It is somewhere.
Mate,
so,
that's a snap and a half.
Mate,
£24
Richworth top on. Mate, yeah.
Were you influenced in terms of magazines? Did you watch any, like John Wilson, any programmes, anything like that?
Of course, yeah. John Wilson, mate, wasn't it? You know what I mean? Go fishing, that was it. Yeah, I think he was surface fishing, dog biscuits. That's the first time I saw that as well. One episode of him doing that in Sweden or wherever he was.
Yes, I remember the episode. Yeah. The little hacksaw blade job.
Yeah, man.
All that.
Unbelievable.
I still do that now with a bit of super glue.
Just mental. And just, getting into it that way and just, magazines, Carp Talk.
Yeah.
Getting them, stacking them up against, Carp World as well. Do you know what I mean?
I do know very well, mate.
Mad.
What was the perception like of you going angling around like footballers? Obviously, there's a few we talked about there where they must have a similar mindset or a similar draw to carp fishing. They're involved in it, which is absolutely brilliant. But majority of the footballing population, I'm trying to think, probably not. Maybe
player-wise, no.
Yeah.
Player-wise, not so many. Lee Bowyer, obviously big into his carp fishing, got a couple of lakes himself, and Mark Noble, Dave Stockdale, Jimmy Bullard is a
he's a good angler.
Basher. Yeah, very good angler.
Basher, did you call it?
Minnow Basher, yeah.
Minnow Basher.
There's a few boys. You know what I mean? Phil Foden's into it, as you guys know. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So, there's quite a few lads, but majority of them are golfers.
Yeah, there's a lot of golfers, isn't there?
Yeah, again, I think that's that time. In terms of carp fishing, there's that time you can go to the golf course for 3 hours, can't you? Or however long you really want. Fishing, you can go and do it for a couple of hours, but I think, like you say, you put the hours in, you got if you want to catch those big target fish, and on a syndicate, you're not really going to join a syndicate for an hour or two a day, or maybe a couple of times a month. I don't know.
Is that you? Is that you said you're referencing like the A team, the big fish? Is that for you a big buzz about it? Trying to catch those sort of top percentages? You just happy getting bites? What's the motivation? There's clearly something towards
there's
that.
always the PB. There's always chasing the PB. There's always the fish that are on the lake, the big ones that you want to catch, or the pretty ones, or do you know what I mean? The big scaly ones, the dark ones. There's always those. But yeah, I want to catch big fish. I want to.
What's a big fish for you now? What would you class?
40-pound.
Yeah.
Yeah, onwards. You know, in the UK for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, you've caught some big ones abroad as well, mate.
Yeah, some good fish abroad, mate. Managed to travel a little bit, and yeah, I really enjoy that actually. I really enjoy the travelling aspect of it. Yeah, it's a real good buzz, isn't it? There's a real build up to it. Getting out there and seeing completely different styles of fishing as well. So that I really enjoy.
Talk to me about your domestic fishing. So obviously we've talked there about Broadlands, your sort of progression through. Was it a case of, I'm guessing in the football years, is fitting fishing in wherever it is applicable or wherever you can? And then obviously you've got a really beautiful family that are out there sitting on their iPads while we're doing this, but you obviously got family constraints as well. Did you manage to join anywhere or get your teeth stuck into anywhere at that time when you were playing, or was it a case of not really?
Well, in terms of playing, I was at West Ham with Lee Bowyer.
Yes.
And Bo's really, really into his fishing. Got a couple of lakes in France.
It's Tang de Bows, isn't it?
Yeah, Tang and Lesmont as well. So he's got the two lakes that are close by to each other, which are mega as well. I've fished Etang a few times, actually with Mark Noble, and there's a little group of us that used to go out there at the end of the season. We'd do a week.
Nice.
And
any good on there? Caught a few?
Yeah, a couple of good fish, good few 63 common, I think was a banger out of there.
That's a mega fish.
Some real nice fish.
What's the fishing like on there in terms of
it was very swimmy when we've been maybe 3-4 times now. Very swimmy. So if you're out in a peg at the draw early doors on the train on the way over, and you're number 1 or 2, you're buzzing, absolutely buzzing. And I've been fortunate enough to be out at early doors in the draws all the time. So I've had some great times. But saying that, I've had Nobes come out last, and he's like fucking here for a week in this swim. He does about 4 days. I've given up a week of my 4 weeks off that I've got in the summer, and I'm fucking blanking. Packs up after about 4 days. I can't do it, boys. I can't do it. I'm going home. He's
lost his head and gone?
Home. Yeah, just drove home because he wasn't going to catch me.
That's bad, mate, isn't it?
But he's like, we're like, yeah, I totally get it though, in terms of you've only got 4 weeks off your whole summer. You've give 1 week to go fishing with the boys, and you're not going to catch. So
that bad, like literally not.
Yeah, it was the other end of the lake to the fish. Like they're all stacked up in front of me, hauling. And he's getting peppered by mozzies in the corner, right in the snags. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's just hoping for one fish to be stuck in a snag. Right, that's my get out. That's a big girl's going to be stuck in these snags. And it wasn't happening. He was just getting peppered alive, hot. You know what I mean? Summertime, roasting, absolutely roasting.
He's just gone no.
Yeah, I'm going home. And then he went home, phoned the missus like, we're going to, I don't know, Ibiza or whatever, for 3 days. Come on, like, get the kids ready, boom, we're going. So yeah,
that's one for every night out afterwards. Then
yeah,
he's not
exactly.
living that down, is it?
Nah, exactly. And he was like, "Listen, great choice by me. So yeah,
fair.
But you've all been there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
At one end of the lake, he's just fishing his tits off, just the way it is that time of year. They're all up there.
How are you catching them?
Do you know what? They were all in the reed line on my left. Have you fished it?
No. Explain to me the lake.
There's the main house, and then what's that? It starts in the far left-hand corner, one all the way around to about 14, I think it is, and one, all the way down to 14. Peg 6, I think it is, and peg 10 do really, really well. Yeah. And I ended up being in them both times. But I used to fish right to the reed lines. Like literally you could, I got a little mad bit of GoPro on my phone, literally bait boating it right into the reed line, pretty much dropping it. By the time the bait boat's just only one beep because it's so far. It's like beep, you're winding down and straight and walking straight back. And just mega place. Actually, it was real good. It's been on quite a few. Tracker have been there a few times.
I know Tracker have been up there. Yeah,
and again, I think it's the same swim. Really, it just hammers the same. Do you know what I mean? Just
is that a no fishing bank then? That one that you go to?
Yeah, because the clubhouse is on. The house is on there, so you can't really fish from now.
So you're fishing across to it.
Yeah, you're sort of fishing diagonally left towards it, but they're all just stacked up that side of the lake at that time of year.
Rigs, bait. What you fishing? Load of boilie, lot of bait, or just bite
just boilie. Yeah, no particle, no pellet, no nothing like that. And D-rigs on semi-stiff, really. Just a little bit of stiffness, but yeah, just mega place, like you say. When they're on you, though, it's not hard when they're there and in front of you in that numbers. Do you know what I mean? It's just a matter of time, as long as you've got a sort of rig that can reset itself. It's
unless you're in the other corner, mate, getting smashed by mozzies.
Mozzies, mate, and they're big things as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the old French mozzies, mate. So obviously that was a nice trip in amongst everything else. But again, domestically, UK wise, when you're playing, ad hoc bits, any sort of invites anywhere, or was it a case of just wherever is local, like you said before, the old quad and doing a bit of float
down the
fishing,
bottom of the road was the summer fix. If I could nick a few days or these international breaks or FA Cup weekends or whatever, I've been a member at Foxmere, which nice. the guys at Fox run, and I've been a member there nearly 10, 11 years. So I started with Bo. Bo was a member there. Got us onto the lake, and I've just been there for years, and it's just amazing. Not many members.
Yeah,
their consultants go and fish it every now and then, but mega lake, great fish. Just it's got a little bit of everything. It's got a shallow end. It's got weed in the summer. Do you know what I mean? It's got a deeper part. It's got an island. It's got a little bit of absolutely everything. You can take them off the top in the summer as well. So that was my go-to place. Private, quiet. Nobody going to bother you, and I used to just go there when I could. For like I say, if it was any more than 24 hours, that would be the place to go, and just go when I could.
Yeah,
and target the fish, and you know what I mean. Now I've been retired 6 years now, so I've been able to go a hell of a lot more. The fish have really become, speaking to the members more, seeing the members more, just putting the hours in.
Yeah,
you understand the fish. You know what it's like, and each year the lake changes as well in terms of where the weed is. Some years it's an absolute carpet, and it used to terrify me. I'd turned up there before, and there's like it's just like a carpet. I packed it, and I've gone, nah, I can't go. I can't do it. I'm not going to do my time here. Just like nah.
You've done a noble.
Yeah, I've done a noble. Now I'm like, right. Yeah, can't wait. Just hoping, right, where are those big holes in the weed? Like I say, the other day, turned up there, load of weed, right, perfect. I'm going to find those holes, and nabbed 4 out of there. It like just smashed it. So that again, evolution of my fishing. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's going, but it's having a time. And I wanted to be able to catch fish, and I wanted to be able to enjoy me fishing. Not easy fishing. But I just wanted to be able to go and enjoy it and not have doubts in the back of my mind when I played when it was weedy, you know. But now it's like, yeah, absolutely love it because I've had the time to go there. Right, all right. I've got 4 days I can just waste now, right, finding holes and doing it properly and taking my time and just absolutely love it now. Absolutely love it.
Weed is definitely one, isn't it? You see that with a lot of anglers, like they might not fish weedy lakes. They might fish, like, for instance, up near me, there's a lot of silty meres that are very silty.
Yeah.
They get used to fishing those. And then they're thrown down to somewhere like the Colne Valley where there's loads of weed and a weedy clear venue, and they're like, oh my God, my head's gone completely. Yeah. And you get that reaction, and then it's a case of consistently carrying on and finding a way around it. For you, with the whole weed situation, what was the breakthrough? Was it your own stuff? Was it looking at stuff or referencing stuff, or was it a case of trial and error around actually building some confidence and getting some bites?
So I used to go to France with one of the guys that used to fish there. Absolutely loved it when it was weedy. So I always used to speak, hey, where are you going? What are you doing this weekend? I smashed it. He absolutely smashed it one year. Was down there putting so much bait in. Absolutely. Do you know what I mean? He sort of inspired me. He's like, no, you don't have to. I was like, no, I don't really fancy it. Mate, come down. Honestly, you'll love it. You'll buzz for it. Once you've had one out of the weed properly, you'll buzz for it. This is like, I don't know. Yeah, 6 years ago, probably, something like that.
Right.
7 years, something like that. Anyway, went down and done a session with him, and it was just like, oh, there's a penny's dropped. Okay, nothing to be fearful of.
This
really.
is at
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Foxmere. Yeah, nothing to be fearful of, really. So, yeah, ended up retired, and just going down there for a couple of days, weedy. All right, finding the spots, just as you do now. It's like second nature now. Do you know what I mean? But at the time, it's that first step, isn't it? It's the first step of anything you want. You know, it's putting yourself in that uncomfortable zone to be able to learn and grow from there. And yeah, going, doing it, catching fish. Wow. And then that's the buzz. You almost want it, don't you? Shit, wintertime now. When's that weed coming? Because I know they're going to be in that weed. You know they're there as well, didn't you? They are like a rod length away from you. Do you know what I mean?
We've just been up church. The lads that have done well, he's got the biggest weed berg you could possibly want.
Yeah.
That's where they are.
Yeah. And it's that, you know, it's like, right, where's the weed now? Brilliant. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Like, the weather's still great. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're still going to be sat in there. Bang.
How have you found those spots? Have you done it via the boat or have you done it casting?
You can actually boat yourself out.
Yeah, I know.
So because it is, double thick weed for landing them, it comes in handy. The last time I went and I had 4, I was just chucking. So like I say, it was sort of off the cuff, right, let me get down there. 24 hours I got. I ended up going, right, just chuck. Let's find a couple of holes, bang. Just bit of bait spread around in that weed.
Chucking what? You chuck with the marker lead first or you just chucked?
Yeah, marker lead, and then just a clear lead on my rods, just to make sure, again. And then, stick that rig on, mate, and good to go. So, yeah, just... What rigs
are you? I don't know how riggy you are. You said a little IQ rig before, mate. What's your thoughts on rigs?
What did I have on those? I had 3 choddies, actually.
Did you?
3 choddies, yeah. But they were holes probably about this size in the weed though, so nice sizes.
A good
nice
size
sizes,
hole.
yeah. With the strands that are in there as well, do you know what I mean? A few strands scattered in there, so you're sweet, you're good as gold. But yeah, just a few choddies in there really, just add them. But like you say, it's just going there, being in an uncomfortable position to start with, succeeding on what you want to do, and just learning from it. Right, okay, yeah, I can go again. I can go again, and just absolutely getting the buzz for it.
You, in terms of the stock of that lake, what have you had? Have you had a lot of the good uns, or have you?
Yeah, quite a few of the good uns. I had the lake big un, but spawned out unfortunately, so it now goes 50 something.
Wow.
I ended up having that 38 pound. I was like, no way, literally. Yeah,
that's a good spawn, that.
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. But that thing's back up and smashing. That was 2 years ago. But a brace of 40s. Do you know what I mean? Having that in one morning in the UK, that's mental, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
That's mega. I've never braced 40s in the UK ever.
So yeah, just a real good set of fish. Real different set. Strains of fish in there as well, you know. There's the old ugly things, and then they've got the new one, the new Simos that are in there. They've got some dark fish. Honestly, it is mega. It is just because they're always introducing new fish, and there's the river which is just by it. So you got some of the old river fish that are in there. It's mega, real good. And again, just working my way through the list, and I've had a lot of the good fish. But always new ones, and a lot of the new fish that we've all chipped in to buy over the years, they're creeping up there at big strain fish, you know. So they're creeping up there and getting into the 40s, and so there's always new targets each year, you know. There's all new targets that has it gone that right? Okay, right, that's now on the list.
That's a motivation, isn't it? You like that whole target. You need something to aim at, don't you?
Yeah, it's there, of course. And do you know what's not? Like you say, you can get on the boat as well. So in the summertime, it is gin clear, where that weed's in there. You can just cruise around on the boat and you can see them as well. That's such a turn on, isn't it, mate? Honestly.
Yeah, mate, definitely.
Like, just seeing the size of those things. Wow, God, yeah. You know they are as well. Do you know what I mean? It's knowing them, recognising them from the boat.
Do you think that has added to your angling in terms of progression, being able to actually go out in a boat and see it? Because a lot of people, they won't fish a venue where that's allowed to happen in any formal way.
Yeah.
And I remember it being starkly different, even sort of in my time, where you have a picture in your head of the spot you're fishing, you don't see it, and then you go out in a boat and think, geez, actually, it's 4 times the size of that.
Yeah.
It's not that little lead-sized hole in the weed.
Yeah, it's mad. It gives you another aspect, doesn't it? But even like drones now, do you know what I mean? Like, I've got a drone, and it is just an edge, isn't it? An absolute edge, as bait boats are. Do you know, at Foxmere, there can be mornings where you thought, right, I am getting a bite 100% in the night. So you wake up in the morning, haven't had a bite. What the hell has happened here? Throw the drone up. Sun's coming up. Where are they? There's just cloud down the other end of the lake.
Yeah.
It's great there that I can keep in the van. So my van's all set up, so I can move. So I can just pod, net, rods, bang, straight in, round the other side, and on them like that. And that just gives you an edge, because you're sat there, like you say, we're talking about in France, I'm up one end, the fish are all there, and nobody's sat in Mozzie corner, then you know what I mean? And it's just that, bang, you're up, you're around there, and it's a buzz again, it's one on the head, half hour 8, you got that bite, and you think, you know what I mean? You wouldn't have been able to do that. And however much you climb up a tree or you walk around the lake, it's an instant, right, that's where they are. And they give themselves away in terms of just the cloud. They're not always showing there. So the big clouds, and you can see them. And like I say, it's gin clear, so you can see them as well from time to time. Right, down there, bang, you'll have 3 or 4, and you go, wow, that was it. Do you know what I mean? Just that little edge. And some people frown upon the drones and bait boats and whatever, but hey, listen, mate, I'm there to catch fish. I don't care what you think. My opinion is I want to catch some fish. Like I say, I've had many years of not having much opportunity, or the small window of opportunity that I have got, I want to make the most of it. So, yeah, that little edge. And it's not affecting anyone. It's not hurting anyone in any way.
No, mate, I think that's the main thing, isn't it? Yeah. Whatever, it's very personal, isn't it? But I think if you're not affecting other anglers, there's no doubt in the edge that a drone is. Like, it is so good for spotting carp. Like, you wouldn't have seen that little slicking up cloud or whatever it may be. You're on it. And as you said, you've got 3 bites. Casting at them, they're happy. If they're feeding, you chuck a rig in there. They're not spooking off. They're all right.
They're okay, as long as you don't thrash the water to pieces. Yeah, you're all right. Yeah, you got your one or two chances, but there's a shallow end of that lake as well, which in the summer they can be stacked up in and around that weed as well, though. So yeah, you know where they are. They tend to be there in the daytime, and in the evening they'll move off. So it's almost like you'll fish there in the day, and in the evening pack up, jump in the van, and you know where they're going to be roughly the other end of the lake in the evening.
How big's the lake? I've walked it a long time
14 acres.
Yeah, I was going to say roughly about 15
so
acres.
a good size water. But yeah, it's got, like I say, a little bit of everything, and they don't want to be sat in that shallow water in the weed. In the evening, they're off in the deeper water, and yeah, you set your traps, get ahead of them. And then in the morning, you know, right, they're going to be there in about an hour's time. You have your cup of coffee, your porridge, or whatever it is, back in the van and down to the other side of the lake if nobody else has moved in.
Yeah, exactly. For you, now that you've got a bit more time, and you said that with regards to that venue, are you introducing bait into areas? Are you starting to build up that much of regularity that you can be there and get something going, or is every session still sort of whatever it is you see in front of you, you're going at? It's more time of year, and the different bait sources. So obviously those maggots in the summertime, and bits of sweet corn as well. They've seemed to really go for those, you know, in the summertime, and it's like, again, it's amazing. It's chin clear, and you can see them coming in, and you can see your spots, and yeah, you throw, like I say, I throw that drone up all the time now. I'm there are times where I've smashed the life out of some batteries, by the way. Where are you? Just excitement, like you say, it's like watching the TV show. Do you know what I mean? Oh, they're coming in now. Okay, they're there. Right, okay, my bait, they're in there. They've been in there.
You can see it's cloudy, but you haven't had a bite. Right, is my rig set right? Like, do you know what I mean? How much longer can I leave it? Because there are a hell of a lot of fish there. Should have had a bite. Winding is this, you know what I mean? Redo the rig, get it back out there again, and then you get the bite. Right, what a great move that was for me to wind in. Why have you done that? Because you've had the drone up, then you've managed to see. Do you know what, they are on top of me? They have been feeding, but you haven't had that bite. So again, it's those like. It's just like I say, watching TV, mate, like with the drone, bang, oh, amazing. Like they're there.
Yeah,
I just love it. I just absolutely love seeing fish, whether it's from the boat, a drone, whatever. That buzz for me is absolutely mental.
You maggot fishing, mate? What have you presented them? You used them on the hook as well, or just to get the fish in and grubbing around?
Yeah, little maggot clip from time to time. But I've normally had the maggots and a bit of sweet corn as well, so it's easier to present in it, those little bits of sweet corn or fake corn or whatever it may be, or just a couple of fake maggots or a little bunch of maggots on top of a little of a wafter. I love really, mate, and that's done the damage for me. They really have in the summertime for sure.
Yeah, nice.
But the other day I'm in and around the weed, and it's just boilies, you know what I mean? Just putting boilies and just spread. Not too much, but a nice spread. They can find it. They know where it is. Yeah,
sounds mega fishing, mate.
Oh, mate, it's so good.
What are you doing at the moment? How you, like, regularity are you getting out at? Because you are busy, aren't you?
Yeah, football season's kicked off again, and it's kids and summertime, so I'll do a lot of traveling with the football academies that I've got around the world. So I'm here, there, and everywhere. And then I've got the Hamidi. Do you know what I mean? Like, mate, you got to do these products. You got to practice. You got to try these products. What you think of these, mate? Can you get on the bank? We're doing a shoot soon, so you need to. Yeah. So not enough, mate. Not enough. But I'm spinning too many plates. I think next year I'm going to try and cut back and really focus on one or two things. And I'm desperate to, and the thing is with the show as well, mate. Do you know what I mean? I really, really want to get more and more fishing. I love Al to bits. He's the hardest working man I've ever met in my life. Genuinely is. Yeah. And I want him to do well. So for me, any way I can help him, I will do. Even though we do have a good old clash from time to time.
Do you? What? I can't imagine you. Yeah, no, maybe a competitive clash.
I'll give you one. So obviously his products. He's like, mate, you got to use this product, mate. You got to use it. But so I've used the products, his bits, and do you know what? 99.9% of them have stayed in my tackle box. Right. There's one or two that haven't. Right. And try to sample. They're samples. Yeah. So there was one. I'll tell you what it was. It was a line. It was a sample line. So
a hook length, or a main line.
No, main line.
Okay.
So I tried it and I didn't like it. And he loved it. I didn't like it. Yeah. So I took it off my spools. He's like, mate, you can't do that. I said, listen, I'm not using something that I don't want that I don't like. I said, listen, everything else, fine, not a problem. I said, I don't want to use that. I'm not, mate, you've got to use it. He's like, no, I'm not using it. So we've had a good old little ding dong about that. But
how's that gone down? Ultimately, you've not put it back on your spools.
No, but no, he's got the new stuff now, which I have used in, which is pucker. But it was sample. But he wanted me to use the sample. Listen, on camera though. So I've got to have real confidence. Do you know what I mean? Like and the venues that we've been fishing, big fish. PB smashing.
Where's he asked you to use this, Avenue or Grenville? Where's he asked you to use it?
Avenue, right at the start. So again, do you know what I mean? I'm there and I'm thinking, right, this lake is holding giants, things that are going to do me PB. I don't want that. I just didn't want it. So I wanted everything that I'm happy, I'm comfortable, and I'm confident in.
I want to be 100%, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. So I said, all right, okay, cool. So I didn't like it, took it off and put the line that I am confident on. And that was the only thing. But yeah, so that's our only ding dong. But he's subsequently got by the time we get to Grenville, he's got a fucking mustard line now. So but yeah, at the time it was like, right, you got to use it.
That's not where you. How did you find the Avenue, mate?
Oh, amazing. What a place as well.
What a gaff.
Yeah, mad, man. Rob's amazing. Great guy as well.
I did his podcast in his house, mate.
Yeah,
What a
mate.
mega house.
Yeah, you had a wander around it then and around the avenue and
Boar farm and all that up there, mate.
Yeah,
crazy,
yeah, mate.
Some
set up, hey, some set up.
Yeah, not bad.
So that was a good episode, mate, and a hard lake. You know, remember turning up there and the guy being on the lake, and he'd done you can't do too many nights on the bounce.
Yeah, there's a time limit, and then you'll be off.
But he'd done 8 nights and had 1 fish, and I was like,
oh no,
yeah, this doesn't sound. But as he's saying that, they're smashing everywhere, and you can see the size of them. So I'm thinking, right, well, it can't be, surely. But managed to nab a couple, mate. And it's an amazing episode as well. So.
We'll look out for that one,
it's
mate.
class.
I remember Al giving me a phone call. Actually, gave me a phone call and goes, "Can you sort out some baiting poles? So we might need them for that." And you did some other fishing as well. And I was like, "Yeah, mate, we can send you a couple of baiting poles. No worries about it. I hope you have a few." And then I remember seeing a few snippets on social media.
Yeah.
And actually on Ali's pod, I think I overlaid a little bit of a trailer, which is a take on the avenue on one of his rods, mate. And that turned out to be an absolute mega one. So fair play.
Yeah, mate. The poles came in handy for me as well. In terms of we both in another part of one of the episodes. Yeah, we both use them and they come in. Yeah, I mean, listen. Without them, we're not catching the fish.
They are an edge, mate.
Mate, they're an edge. They're an absolute edge. They're like a drone or a bait boat.
Yeah.
And this and the baiting poles, mate, and spoon, mate. Mega nice underneath the trees, drop, and you get your rewards. And do you know what I mean? Like, you can't cast to those places. You're not going to be fishing where the fish are. And the way on the show, you know, those fish are caught because of that reason. Because of those poles. Definitely. You know, so they're an absolute edge. They
for
really
you
are.
on there. The sort of perception that some people have with regards to sort of imported fish. Wrong uns, as some people deem, and where do you sit on all that, mate? With regards to those, not fussed.
No, not fussed. Yeah. Whether I'm fishing in England, or not, mate. Listen, getting on a plane. I've been on a plane and flown to Croatia for 3 nights with a tube and a bag just to catch some of those giants. Do you know what I mean? And if there's an opportunity to catch a couple of giants in the UK as well, listen, I'll go up. Yeah, that just doesn't faze me. Just doesn't bother me at all where they're from. It really doesn't. Listen, if you've got a lake and you run your lake and you want your fish to be a certain strain, okay, fine, not a problem. It's fantastic. If you've got some mega fish in there and I can fish it, then more than happy to go and catch those. But yeah, if there's another lake with every and other fish from all around the world, super.
How did you meet Ali in the first place, mate?
So Sean McSpadden from Fox, he obviously runs Foxmere.
Yeah,
grew up with Al, didn't he? So
they're tight.
They're tight. Good pals. I think Ali got my number from him to start with. I think the first thing he asked for was FA Cup final tickets, I think.
Classic. He never met you before?
No, never met me. Just asked me for some FA Cup final tickets. Liverpool
text?
in there.
What's that text? A phone call or text?
Text, I think it was. A text, I think, yeah. But if you know Ali, you know he's got the most front in the entire world.
He has. That's why I thought he'd ring you and be like, all right, Bobby.
No, I think it was a text first, and then it might have been, I don't remember, but listen, I'm fishing fan, do you know what I mean? So I was like, wicked Al's, mate. Al's phoned me, do you know what I mean? So
did you get him some? No way has he got some off you off a text and a phone call.
I think I dug about. I think I rang around and maybe got him some. Yeah, I can't really remember. I think Yossi Benayoun was at Liverpool for a few years, so he might have sorted some.
So you know,
and then we played. I was at QPR and we played Liverpool. At home, so him, Sean, and a few others came to the game. So yeah, I think he was jumping all over the players as they're coming out. He comes to meet us after the game, and he's jumping all over them afterwards, getting photos here, there, and everywhere. So,
yes.
But Ali's Ali, and do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? I love him to bits. The most front I've ever seen for anyone. But listen, do you know, you cringe at times, but then you go, do you know, hats
Fair
off
play.
to you. Yeah, do you know what I mean? You're not going to get. You don't ask, you don't get.
That is true, mate.
And he sort of lives by that, I think.
Definitely.
He lives by that rule.
Look at where that
Yeah.
text has got him, mate.
Yeah.
Into all sorts. From there, I think the first time I saw you guys together was a ridiculous episode of The Big Fish Off. It was the best episode of The Big Fish Off, where you guys went out to the Amazon, mate. Like, of all the types of, like, fishing in terms of destinations and everything else, it's got to be up there with the best you've done, hasn't it?
Honestly, yeah. That's what I mean. I love the travelling part of the fishing and going to some mad places. And that was mental. Like, just the adventure. Do you know what I mean? Going in, I remember being in there and going into a hut somewhere, and there was... it must have been about 20 tarantulas. No fucking about, mate. 20 tarantulas just in like the thatched, like
bit of
roof, mate, and like just madness. The place was amazing, so good. Like how it was done and everything. Like 14 hours on a plane and then 5 hours up the river on a boat with, and then you would have seen the photos of where we were sleeping and. Oh,
it looked wild, mate. It didn't look like your plush sort of film set, mate. You were out there doing it, weren't you?
Yeah, it was just the best, mate. It really was. Like,
not worried at all at any point?
No. The first morning, waking up in the jungle, being woken by, like, it turns out it's a howler monkey, but at the time I didn't know what it was, and I was like, just the roar of this thing. I genuinely, as I wake up, I think it's a dinosaur. I really think like it's a T-Rex. That's what comes into my head. There's a T-Rex in the jungle here. Like, and just this roar and just constant roar at sunrise, you know, it's just mental. And then, going, obviously we're filming and we're fishing, but when we're not, we're straight on the boat and going out. Okay, what else can we catch? And, you know, the electric eel, these massive electric eels and stuff. And like, just crazy.
I think that river scares me a bit, mate.
I Cayman in there and
there's all sorts in
mate,
there.
Honestly,
Those catfish were massive, which is frightening enough, mate. But I wouldn't want to be like, I wouldn't want to be bivvied up, let's say, at the side of that river at night, because what's in that river you can't really see, can it? It's
murky. It's flowing. It's
anacondas knocking about.
Mate, there's anacondas, jaguars everywhere. Like just Cayman, like it is absolute. But what? Honestly, mate, well worth the day of hell to get there and the day of hell to get back home, mate. Well worth it. Peacock bass and piranha and I don't even know what else we caught. It was just, and then you cap it off with a £140 catfish. Do you know what I mean?
What's the scrap like on one of them?
Yeah, class, man. Absolutely
some flow
class.
going as well, isn't there?
Yeah, you just the buzz. We had the drama of Macy getting a catfish, a small one, stuzzing with a spike in the side of his foot, and just amazing. I remember Ali's like,
was that on camera?
Yeah. He gets the spike from the catfish goes straight through his foot, like, and he turns white. Ali's like, yeah, all right, just put a bandage on it. Let's just get fish like that. And basically, like, he's
a big old unit as well, mate.
He's a big old boy. So, just an amazing trip, mate. And that's what I mean. I love going to those places, traveling, going there, some sort of expectation, and then smashing it. Like me going to Florida, and I went with Al. We just like, let's go Florida and go and smash some tarpon and grouper and.
Where'd you go? Key West,
Isla Morada and Key West. Yeah, just mad, mate. Just amazing. And then, like I say, just packing your rod tube and one bag and going out to Croatia and on my own. I've been on my own, just like.
But do you still have the same buzz from going from sort of the very sort of wilds of the Amazon to Key West, Isla Morada, the best sport fishing spot probably on the planet, and then carp fishing in Croatia? You still the same buzz?
Yeah, man. Yeah, fish, innit?
Just love it, innit?
Fish. And then, I mean, we do the episode here off the Cornish coast, mate, honestly.
Yeah, you went down to like Ilfracombe way or something, didn't you?
Honestly. I didn't know what he's swimming around in the UK. Honestly, mate. The fish that we had were unbelievable, mate. Honestly. Like, I genuinely didn't think that he's swimming around off the coast of the UK.
People don't know, do they? Unless you do it.
Mate, it's even there's hammerheads out there now, you know. Like big hammerheads from...
All I see, Viv Shears has been on the old podcast. He runs a tuna boat. All I see is amazing videos from Viv tuna, and then I've been shark fishing.
Yeah.
Who knows, in the grand scheme of things, when you're out there bobbing around, you haven't got a Scooby what's out there, mate.
No, mate.
Do you know what I mean? You catch a few big blues, or you might see a big port beagle, or you might...
Yeah.
But you don't know, do you?
Mate, honestly, the thing that we have.
I know
that we have, mate.
I'm not going to blow it, but yeah.
Honestly, listen,
it
blows Ali's back out. Let's just put it that way. It's a good thing I'm there to help him out.
Tag team.
If he'd have been on his own, he'd have been like, he'd have been, in a wheelchair now. I think still recovering. Really, mate. Honestly, the thing is amazing.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I think that also. I was saying this to the lads like earlier today because I've just come back from holiday, did a bit of sea fishing. I was like, the thing about the sea is like you get a bite, you really don't know.
Exactly, it can be anything. And then on the way up, you know, fishing in Florida, you're reeling something on the way up. Boom. Oh, like Missy's taking a turn. This thing, by the way, it's bang. Or you're pulling something up, and then the sharks come in, or groupers come in. Boom. That's
did you do those as well? Did you ever go at those groupers?
Yeah, mate. Oh, I honestly thought I had the bottom. I was convinced. I was telling the skipper around, Ali, nah, I'm on the bottom. No, you're not. I'm on the bottom. I'm telling you now. I've got the bottom. The boat's bobbing. Do you know what I mean? A little rock, and I'm like, no. Listen, try my hardest. This thing's stationary, and then all of a sudden, this thing starts coming up. Yeah, and it's £400 grouper.
They look mental, mate. I've seen like those black tip, you know, those YouTubers, and they've got like American wrestlers like ripped to absolute bits trying to hold them, and they just can't. They just absolutely bury them.
Machines, man. Machines. So good. So good, though. That's just all fishing for me. Do you know what I mean? Like bending the rods, the anticipation and seeing it and bang, the net under the net, or, getting it on the boat. Or
Croatia, mate. Talk to me about Croatia. You said you went out there on your own even, but you've been out on subsequent trips and fish. Where you fish?
Shumba a few times, and Tazaki a few times, mate. Just absolutely love it. I went. Did I go first? I went to Shumba on my own first.
Did you?
Yeah, just right. Got to go and do it.
Where did you see it? Was it talked about?
No, Ali's. Harry, who works for Corda over in Croatia. Yeah. All right, just bring your stuff, mate. I'll bring a bivvy and a bed chair. You just bring your bits. All right, cool. I took a suitcase full of boilies, bag full of like tackle, and a rod tube. That was it. He had a bed and a bivvy, and I was there for 3 nights and just like, right, okay, what's the crack? All right, spod to here. You know what I mean? That was his almost his backyard. He'd fished it quite a few times, and just blew me mind. Absolutely.
What's the fishing like? Was it range work? A lot of it.
Shumba isn't. 24 wraps, I think it was. And then, Zazaki was, 35 wraps of.
How'd you find that? Distance work?
Yeah, hard to start with, but then you get into the zone, don't you? You know where you've got it. And then it's, you hit the clip. And it's just, but that's so nice. Again, that's another challenge. Again, not really casting at that sort of distance.
What, did you just go out there and you could cast 32 wraps?
No, I had a couple of lessons with Terry Edmonds.
Oh, you got to
obviously down the field, and that's just class. And then going out to Sasaki and one of the boys out there, Ivan, who looks after the Fox guys now. He got us out, sorted us out with a good swim, right? Talk us through it, and subsequently I've been out there with Sean quite a couple of times as well. But we just love it, mate. Don't get nothing through the night, but as soon as you spod, first thing in the morning, set your alarm, spod as soon as the sun comes out, and your 3 rods that have been out all night, they're gone in like 5 minutes. 5 minutes, the first rod shot off, the second rod shows off, all 3 rods going off, just ringing that dinner bell, mate. Honestly, it's unbelievable.
That's hard work at that range though, isn't it?
Oh, it's hard work, but it's so good though. I'm like that with Sean. Right, okay, we got the rods on the spot. You know what I mean? You a couple of chucks to get your rods, bang, bang.
Is it actually a spot, or is it just your bait's your feature, but you're fishing it around?
As far as you can go, it's as far as you can cast, and you can fish there consistently and get your bait there consistently. That is your spot. So if you can fish 130, okay. If you can fish 140, even better. If you can fish 150, even better. Do you know what I mean? We're fishing at 140 yards or something. And it's just amazing, mate. Just
if you
so
come
good.
back, you reckon you're not
No,
catching
you
them?
don't. You don't.
You don't catch them?
No, if you come 120, no, you go 130, you get pick up a more. You'll go 140 and you'll get the bites. It's like, it's mental.
Why?
Yeah, I don't understand. It's not like there's the real difference of depth or anything like that.
You're not fishing on a feature, are you, or a bar or something?
No, there is a bar there, but we wasn't actually on it. Like it's really, really strange. Really, really strange.
What is that about?
It's like a comfort zone. It's like a barrier for them.
I think they can't do 140.
Yeah, they can't do it. No, they can't fish. This is we're safe here.
But it needs bait. So if you smashed a solid 160, you might.
For saying that, Sean ended our last trip. Sean was like, right, I'm going to start smashing up, putting a couple of bags. Ivan was like, no, don't need bags. Bags don't work out here. Don't do it. Complete waste of time. So we ended up getting the bags, mate. He was just, every bag that went out would go before any other D-rig or any other spinner or anything else that was out there. So
on its own, not over bait.
It's towards the baited area, but it would go quicker than anything else with a little bit of oil in it. It was that, it was mad. Oh shit! Okay, so we're all tying up bags in the end. But the thing is, with the bags though, when you're fishing at that sort of range, if your cast ain't right, and it takes maybe, because we're fishing like tram lines, 3 rods, mate, like 3 chucks, maybe 2 chucks. You know what I mean? Sometimes they
can be a bit aggy, can't they?
Yeah, but with your bags, you got to be nailed on. Actually, it's just distance. It's just distance with them. But sometimes, you know what I mean? You haven't got a second chance. So it's just tying up bag after bag after bag and just getting a load of them done in the evening, ready for the next day. But Sean absolutely smashed it on the bags. But saying that, he was in comfort zone. First fish, he had £82.12
His first
fish, mate. We get there. First fish, he had £82.12. I'm like, leave it alone, mate. Yeah. So and then he's just in comfort zone, isn't he? But he's just smashing them. And they just like he's fishing on the left side. I'm the right side of pretty much the same swim. Maybe 3 rod lengths between each other. He's getting 60s. Couple of 70s and obviously the 80 as well, but he's just smashing the bigger fish. I'm picking up 40s and 50s like consistently. I had one 68, I think, but
that's a big one.
Yeah, that's a big one. But like his are this don't come under 50, and mine are not really going over the 50s. I'm like, what the hell? I'm trying a little bit further to the left. Further. Just mine must have had something on them.
We wake up and be like, the undertow's a bit weird here, mate. All 3 of mine are on your
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it's that again. That's just amazing, though, mate. Fishing there and ringing that dinner bell, and just the amount of bait. The more bait you can get in, the better, really. But it's just hard work. Setting your timer 25 minutes. Boom. You cast your rods out, set the timer, sit down. It's hot there. Bang. Oh, the timer's gone off. Sean's like, leave it alone. Stick the rod out. Though. By the time you finish baiting, one of the rods out of 6 have gone. You have to redo the timer again, like get the rod back out. It's just constant. But it's good. So rewarding, though. Do you know what I mean? Again, putting in the work and getting the rewards.
It's that reel-in process, mate. I think when you hit the clip on you spot me, you think this is brilliant, and you're in a rhythm, and you get and it's all working, absolutely brilliant. You get better and better. Reeling that spot in, mate.
Yeah.
I would like after a few, you're like, I didn't factor in the reel-in time.
That reel needs to be spot on. That oscillation and that has got to be bang on, and do you know what I mean? You don't need to be winding 1,000 times for it to come back 10 yards.
Absolutely,
the reel's got to be nailed on. Yeah,
but that's quality. You had them to 68. Is that the biggest you've had out there?
68 is the biggest I had out there. Yeah.
It's a big one, mate.
Yeah, it's good fish, but when your power says £82.12 and the first bloody thing.
I love a bit. There's proper competitive nature in there.
Yeah,
I'd take a 68 all day. If I caught his 80, I'd do an Oval, mate. I'd be in a car and home.
Yeah. Well, that's his first day. He's like, shit, well, if this is the first fish, then what else is to come?
Bloody hell. Yeah, that is a big one, innit, mate? Subsequent trips, anywhere France-wise, anywhere like that? You done a bit around there, or has it been mainly Croatia?
No, mainly Croatia. That's that had my buzz recently, to be honest. Yeah, the last 3 years, I think that's where I've been trying to.
Got another trip booked? You going again?
I was supposed to go September, but that's been knocked on the head because I think I'm going to try and get on Grenville again I've got myself penciled a few days, and it was Croatia, and the dates and the times and the flights didn't really work out, so I managed to get myself back on Grenville again. So yeah,
but that seems like similar in a way. It's bait and it's a fair bit of range work, isn't it? Maybe not as timer on the money for, you know what I mean? But again, it's relatively similar in terms of style angle.
Yeah, simply again as much bait as you can get in.
Looks incredible, mate.
The better, mate. Yeah, that place is mind blowing, mate. Honestly, yeah. That's a great episode. Well, it is for me anyway, mate.
Go on, boy.
It's a great episode. Great episode. And yeah, ticks so many boxes. And yeah,
mega fish in there as well, let alone the big ones. Some of those scaly things.
Honestly.
I follow a load of lads on that
His fish are incredible as well. Mate, Rob and Paul, mate, they're both geniuses on their lakes. And Paul was amazing. Just... Listen, whatever you need to do, just go and do, because he's got some rules at the place, and
definitely.
He's his fish care and everything has to be spot on. Totally respect them, because that lake is
immaculate.
Something like I've never seen before, mate. Honestly,
everyone says that. Yeah, it's the ticket, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, mate, and more than happy to do every single rule that he wants.
Just to be on there, fish it.
Yeah, and to fish it. But saying that, he's like, listen, I want you to come here and smash your PB and do as well as you can. So, listen, there are some rules, but some of them, listen, if you want to do this and you want to do that, fine by me.
What did you go for? I mean? Did you do a little swerve?
No, just not really allowed to fish it. You normally have to fish from your swims.
Yeah.
But he let us go and have a little walk and a stalk, really, which was amazing, you know. Again, do you know what I mean? As long as the fish are looked after and you're doing things properly, and listen, he was there and watching and knows, and
we got crew about as well, haven't you?
Crew about, but I think he's more concerned about, right, are you a good angler? Can you fish well? Can you deal with them properly? And I think all of that he was more than happy to say, yeah, you guys are spot on, you know what you're doing, go and crack on, and yeah, if you want to go and catch some fish, go, you can try whatever you want. So it came out very, very well for us both, really.
September on Grenville, mate. Don't get more carpy than that, mate.
No, mate.
They're going to be big.
Yeah. I hope so.
They're going to be big. It looks like a good old place. In terms of other UK venues, anywhere you'd like to fish, maybe, or you've got a great ticket, mate, to be fair, but anywhere else apart from sort of Grenville and where you're currently fishing?
Mate, obviously this place here has got some history in it. Do you know what I mean? Some history, and it's a lovely little venue and a private place, and you've got to be very lucky to be able to fish here. But mate, honestly, I'm happy with my syndicate, smashing my targets and trying to catch those fish. And I don't think that I'll ever give that ticket up, really, because it's just an amazing place, some great people.
It's home, innit, for you?
It is, yeah, it is, and there's still a lot to do there. But in terms of other UK venues, mate, yeah, I'm happy to go anywhere and fish for anything. It's just, listen, if my time and my diary works, and listen, I can get on there and everything. If everything just falls in place, I'm happy to go anywhere, mate. And fish.
I like that.
I imagine I've got Ali with me all the time, and I now. So listen, he's.
What's that like, mate? He's intense. You said there you use carp fishing as a bit of a chill, even though you're quite active and busy. You do like that little. Look at the dust, sort of.
Yeah, he rips me, mate. He rips me in terms of, listen, as soon as that sun goes down, I like to go and get in my bed and go kip. Listen, I can't see the fish. I can hear them from my bivvy. There's no need for me to be out there, Al. I'm not saying he wants to chat shit till like the cows come home. I'm already counting bloody sheep over the fence, mate, me. But he's like, well, you go to sleep so bloody early. I'm like, yeah, I do. But I'm up early as well, mate, watching the water at like 4:30, 5 o'clock. I don't mind that at all. So yeah, just he rips me about that. He's intense, though, but he's one of those people that can live on 3 hours sleep. That's not me.
Yeah, he's mad, isn't he? What was it like filming-wise? For you, as like, because obviously, I mean, you've done camera stuff, you've been on camera, you've had a bit of media stuff throughout your career as well. But not necessarily on a fishing program.
Yeah, very, very different. I think the next season, I think you probably see a little bit more of myself, and how I think the more and more shows and episodes that we do, I think the more and more you'll see a little bit more of who I am, rather than the football trained media person that you have to be. Really,
it's a game of two halves, lads.
Game of two halves. Yeah, do you know what I mean? All that crap. So. But yeah, it's hard. It's hard fishing in front of cameras. Like you say, there was a part we were fishing. on one of the predator lakes somewhere, Oakwood, I think it was, and I wanted to catch a couple of carp, and there was some right in the reeds by me, and I think I could have nabbed one, but I had to wait half hour for everyone to get set up, walk around, because I was just having a walk and a stalk, walk around and set up, and by that time it's a little bit this, that, and the other, but
can be a little bit handbrake.
Yeah, it's a little bit, and you know what I mean. You just want to get your rods out sometimes, and you have to, you've got to talk us through your rigs first, and yeah, it's a little bit frustrating. But I'm getting my head around it. I know, like I get to a lake, right? I'm gonna get my stuff out, get me stuff sorted, and get me rods out once I've found my spot. Whereas it doesn't happen like that. So now I've got it processed into my head. Okay, I found my spot. Add on another 4 hours, and then you can get your rods out.
Yeah.
Okay. So day one, forget it. You're not fishing. I just think, forget it. I'm not fishing. I'll start tomorrow morning, and if I get my rods out in the evening, then great.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Almost right off day one, and that's just something that I found quite hard to start with. But again, it's something that, all right,
it's normality now, isn't it? When you do that,
yeah, it's all right. Yeah, I'm not in a rush. I'm not. Although you've got that buzz and that excitement,
that's hard.
Shit, you've got to sit on your hands. Yeah. Yeah,
I find that hard now, mate.
Yeah,
really, because especially if you're seeing something, if you get there and it's dead,
yeah, you don't
really mind.
Yeah,
but if you're seeing them, they're nutting out 20 yards and they're all 50-pounders.
Yeah,
well, boys, let's just cut.
I know it's hard, but I've learned now that it isn't going to happen. Whatever you say, no, we need to no, yeah. But that's
Was it like the crew was? You got Nick there, haven't you?
Yeah,
like
Nick,
cameraman, decent, like really experienced, but decent to work with in terms of if you might be a bit nervy or just wanting to get your links done and stuff. Is he pretty decent?
Yeah, he tells you exactly what you need to say.
Perfect.
But I'm like, shut up! Can I answer it how I want to answer it? It's like, no, well, yeah, you can say, that's a little bit hard as well. No, just ask me the question. Don't tell me the answer. Just ask me the question. Don't tell me the answer. But he's good, mate. He works his cock off, mate.
Yeah,
he really does. He works so hard, mate. So up till all out, films it all throughout the day with the team, and then he's got to get it all onto the computer and log it all and all that sort of stuff. So he's again up till 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and then back up it again, and then the rods. Closes his eyes and the rods go off at 3. So yeah.
It's hard life.
To be honest, mate, the guys there, the team there, and what Ali's doing is amazing. Really, really is. So
you got this series, which obviously is now, but then you also said you hinted there that you've already filmed in series 2, yeah?
Well, we start in November, I think. So
right.
So yeah, another adventure, not in the UK. But it was great. It was good to be able to do the UK, the first one. Obviously, COVID and not knowing whether we could travel when we were planning for it, that came into account in terms of, right, let's just stick with the UK. We're guaranteed there, and hopefully restrictions will be eased and we can do what we want to do. But the UK, but it was great because I don't think there's been a few things on mainstream TV in the UK, but it's great for the carp anglers. You know what I mean, to have a bit of mainstream UK fishing.
Do you feel a bit of pressure sort of doing that series coming off the back of Al moving away from Monster Carp and all that success?
Oh yeah. But it is it's crazy. Like I'm watching Dovey and Spooner and those guys, and they are and Al, they pull it out the bag like
every time,
and I'm thinking to myself, shit, man, I've got to step up and try and catch and. Do you know what I mean? These guys are like, I look up to them. Do you know what I mean? They're class.
Yeah.
And I've got to go and do that. So yeah, there is pressure. And I remember turning up to the Avenue the first shoot and thinking, shit. You got the excuse if you turn up to a lake and there isn't 40s and 50s in there. You got the excuse. Oh, I couldn't catch a monster because I wasn't on a lake. No. But you're on them lakes with the big fish, so. Yeah, you have to produce, and yeah, we managed to do it as a team, mate, and yeah, it's great for the first season to be able to go and do what we wanted to do, I suppose, and have some fun and some different species in there as well, mate. Like I say, the shark and the crucian.
What's it like playing a big one on camera?
Yeah, I've still got to get used to that, really, trying to describe your feelings, your sensations, and what's going through your head at the time. Because for me, again, you're put in that position where you're in front of camera, but again, in the back of your mind, you've got possibly the biggest fish that you've ever caught, and you don't want to talk to anyone, do you?
I'm
like, shut up.
Yeah,
let me do what I need to do. I want to get it in the back of the net. So that's really hard. And again, unless you get that fish, the giant or the one that you really, really want as your first fish, then you're always going to be nervous. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, something I'm learning, something I'm enjoying though, and I'm glad the first season's over. I'm glad it's in the can, and it's down to the editors now. If it's a shit show, it's their fault, not mine.
Yeah, nice. You won't, mate. You do real good, I'm sure. Your little chemistry with Al in Big Fish offers quality, so I'm sure it'll transfer well over to the other series, mate. You mentioned there briefly about you look up to those people within the industry. For you, like throughout the course of obviously not only your football career, but coming into having more time to fish now, do you look up and still follow a lot of sort of angling? Are you massively into sort of YouTube content, etc.?
Yeah, of course, man. Yeah, of course. Like Alan, I was just talking to him out there. I was like, love the kids, like the filming stuff that goes away in the holidays and the kids fishing, and mate, I watch them all. I watch them all on there on YouTube. Whatever's on there, really, mate. I'm on there. I remember sitting on the coach and on the way or on the plane or wherever it is, going to games and having downloaded stuff, and fishing. The lads are like, "What are you watching?" Do you know what I mean?
Got absolutely shredded for that, mate.
Nah, I don't give a shit. Water for ducks back for me. Like, shut up. I'll just.
Well, you could take it. They must have given you loads.
Oh yeah, but I give a lot as well, pal.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they've got to be very selectful if you're coming for me, pal. You've got to be very selectful.
Proper ruthless.
Oh yeah. It's like, do I cane him because I'm only going to get battered later on. So
did anyone kick off or not at you?
No.
Everyone was all right.
Yeah. So, you just got to give it and take it. But if you're going to give it to me, listen, you're going to get it back as well. So
love that.
So
what about in a game? Do you ever switch off and go fishing mode and think, I think I get there Tuesday?
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. Really? Yeah, there's been times where I've thought, okay.
Weather looks good Tuesday.
Yeah, there has been times, yeah. I know there's a session or international breaks coming, okay, yeah. Right. And you know what I mean? If someone's got injured and you've got a couple of minutes to yourself, it's like, yeah.
International game? You've done it in an England game?
No.
Far too on the ball for that, mate.
No, but yeah, without a shadow of a doubt, yeah, okay. I've gone from a game to the lake same day.
Have you?
Before, yeah. Early kick-off on a Saturday, and you can get to the lake Saturday evening and fish, and back on Sunday evening for a Sunday roast, 24 hours.
That sounds like a good one, mate.
Yeah.
That does sound
I've had that a couple of times. What did I do? I fished before the last couple of years at Foxmere, wound in, left me stuff there.
Yeah.
Jumped in the van, drove to Sky Sports Studios, Heathrow, done a game with Jamie Redknapp.
Oh, commentary.
Yeah, commentary, and then jumped straight back in the van and get back to the lake, rods out, late in the evening. Yeah, 11, get back at 11 o'clock or something like that. Yeah. And just fish again. Do you know what I mean? And then turning up to the studios in a stinky t-shirt and my suit or a shirt and tie.
What do
and all
they
that
say there? What you been doing?
Yeah, well, what are you doing? Listen, just point me to the shower. I'll speak to you in a minute.
Give me the hair and makeup, job done.
Yeah, so,
that's all right, isn't it, mate? That sounds like a good setup. That.
Yeah, as long as you can get your hours in. Now I say it's okay now. It's okay.
Unbelievable. It's fair to say, as well, post sort of football for you, you've been very. I mean, I don't want to say this because obviously I've never ever been in that position, but you seem to have done very, very well in terms of not only business but generally physically, and that mindset that you've had throughout the course of your whole life and have taken into your angling is sort of remained, hasn't it? Whereas you see some people that seem to have quite struggled sort of post career, aren't they?
Yeah, it's not easy to transition. Obviously, it's coming at some stage, so you try to set yourself up as best as you can. But in terms of business, it's been hard for me really as well. COVID has affected everyone, and it did do in the businesses that I'm involved in. So hard, mate. Yeah, took a slap. But yeah, hopefully the world's sorting itself out and back on its feet and trying to progress a bit on the business front. But again, listen, you're in it. So there's nothing you could do about it. It's just it's trying to focus and make the best of it now in the situation that I'm in, or that you guys are in, that everybody else is in, really. Of right, can you steady the ship first and foremost? Can we grow and progress again? So hard, mate. But the transition from football to retirement is hard. But like I say, unless you're cut short of an injury, and you can never play the next day. I knew for the last, I retired at 35. So
did you?
So you know that it's coming. Do you know what I mean? At 30, you get your niggles. 31, 32. Oh shit! This 33. You've had an operation. 34. And you know it's coming. So you do your best to set yourself up. But again, football's a ruthless industry, mate. And there are so many sharks out there. So many people that want to pull your pants down, take your money. So you need a good team around you if you can. And there are so many lads that have been done over. And yeah, it's hard, mate. It's not easy. And it's part and parcel of life, though, isn't it? Really, do you know what I mean? Sharks out there in every industry, and people. You learn a lesson. And you're just an idiot if you make that same mistake twice, aren't you? Do you know what I mean? Okay, everyone's gonna not be successful at one part of their whatever it is.
Definitely.
It's just can you not make that mistake twice?
You seem to have a very, very level sort of logical head, and you work hard, and that's just from speaking in this interview. Like, there's no doubt you're a grafter. Like, no doubt. Like, regardless of football, fishing, it's all the same. But there's definitely, like, very sort of smart, mate. It's quite street savvy, yeah? Where's that come from?
You think so? Well, I suppose that's just growing up from London, growing up in London. Do you know what I mean? I think you have to have a little bit of your wits about you, a little bit of common sense. But listen, mate, there are people out there that are smarter and more cunning than you, and they're out there to try and do you over. So, listen, do you know what I mean? We've all been there. We've all been done over in the past. I don't care who you are, how clever you are. Yeah. Otherwise, you wouldn't learn that lesson. So, it's just, mate, like I say, not making the same mistake twice in whatever industry you're in, whatever you're doing. If you learn from it and go again, then okay, but you will learn from it and you won't make that same mistake twice. You're a fool if you do.
Yeah, nice. I take it. Future fishing wise for you, aspirations, anything that really, other than maybe targets on Fox, anything that you really want to look at, delve into, etc.
Mate, I just want to travel, do some fishing, like really, mate. Yeah, I just go to some random, like the Amazon whet my appetite. So I'd love to go back there. I was supposed to go. A big group of us were supposed to go GT fishing in Oman.
They're massive out there, mate.
Unbelievable. So we were booked in, done everything. COVID killed us on that front. Couldn't travel to Oman. Done a load of dough, load of us. Nice. So that was April this year.
Mate,
like
they
the
are
peak
level, mate.
Moon phase, everything. It was the week of weeks. We couldn't go, mate. So that's supposed to be the one. That's the one for me. I want to go and smash them, mate. Hard work though. Hard work.
Yeah, on those boats in the heat,
those massive poppers. 35.
If anyone could do that, mate, you'd be all right.
I'd love it, mate. And that is on the bucket list to do.
They're massive out there as well. They're not small GTs, are they? I've
massive.
seen the videos. Ridiculous.
Yeah. 80 kilo GTs, mate. Power, speed, like, yeah, that's on the list. There's a big, but yeah, just traveling and going some places, going some mad places, catching some mental fish.
I love that, mate. What about carp wise? What for you in your angling? Distance seems to be good from you fishing out in Croatia. Is there an aspect of your carp fishing that you want to look at or improve or develop?
No, just going in those uncomfortable positions again, whether it's the weed, like the distance, where just different aspects of carp fishing and trying it all, going and being with Al and travelling to these mad places that we're going to go and carp fish for those places. For me, like I've not fished over 145 yards, so I'm sure at some stage we'll be fishing. You know what I mean? 300 yards, boating stuff out. That excites me a bit.
Yeah, boat fishing. Yeah,
that excites me. Like real extreme distance, like that does excite me. Although I know it's hard work and horrible, and imagine fishing at 300 yards and then winding in a £10
a bream.
I mean? Yeah, or a bream. Do you know what I mean? Well, yeah, that. But it excites me. It does. Those different experiences in carp fishing, and I know there's so many. And fishing in Europe, you know, some mad waters, whether it's Germany or. Do you know
have you done much of like Cassian and the sort of history waters? Have you had a look out that way?
No. But again, those excite me. That's what I mean. Those places, they really do. Just learning,
cool,
really.
Mate. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I've got a lifetime ahead of me still. So
it's mega, isn't it? It's like a second, like
it's just, you know what I mean? It's just like coming back into carp fishing again. You know, it's another breath of fresh air, really. Do you know what I mean? That has been, although 2 years wiped off because of COVID, but
yeah.
It's been. I probably done my most fishing during COVID at Foxmere. You know, in terms of, you know, there wasn't much else we could do other than go fishing, which was great. So
blessing in disguise.
Yeah, it was amazing. But yeah, honestly, mate, I don't have anything planned as yet. But yeah, everything and anything that's out there, I want to go and do and catch. And yeah, carp fishing is top of the tree, obviously.
I think the sort of pivotal moment where you really understand how much somebody loves it, and this is generally, it's like you said to me outside that like there's loads of plates spinning in terms of what you've got on, and next year you want to try and get rid of some of the plates and refine it down, and one of the plates left was definitely fishing, mate. There was no two ways about it.
Yeah, of course, mate.
Like
absolute passion. And I think when you've got that buzz, when you're a fisherman, I don't think it ever goes away. Do you know what I mean? It's just how much fishing you can do, really.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Do you worry that you might? Do you think you'll ever burn out if you were able to fish as much as you can?
No, I don't like.
I don't either, mate.
Like, I don't wish it away at all. But if I had nothing else, like if I had no commitments, I could. And who did I see? There was somebody in Croatia who does that 6 months of a year. English guy. What's his name?
Don't know, but that's incredible. 6 months on a bank.
Pretty much. He works for 6 months, then he fishes for 6 months.
Fair play.
He just travels around Europe, going in his van, and he fishes like mad places. 2 weeks at a time. Drive somewhere else. Where you going next? I don't know. I'm just going to head towards Thingy and go and fish there. But he's on Tozaki, so he knows. But he's in the fishing industry. He's not in the industry, but he knows everyone. Do you know what I mean? So he gets on the big waters and he can go and fish and
mad.
But yeah, works 6 months and fishes 6 months, and I could do that. If I could do that, I would. You know.
Or would you go back and play football again?
I'll go and play football, but because I know football will come to the end and then I'll fish. So.
Yeah. You'll do it again. The same target. And to be fair, I said this to you before, in terms of like offers, charity games, things like that. Obviously, you've got your coaching that you do, but with injuries and stuff, and what basically your hip that's led to it, you don't really get involved in them, do you?
No, mate, not really. A little bit too painful. So I'll play and then I'll be struggling for 3, 4, 5 days and popping anti-inflammatories left, right, and centre. So
yeah, not the one.
All my work is with Ali, mate, and him.
What do you think of his football, mate? He likes a bit of a charity game.
He loves his football. Yeah, I think he sees himself better than he is. But I think he sees himself like in that way anyway. You know, he's a 10 out of 10 at everything he does. There's nobody better than him.
He loves it, mate, doesn't he?
Yeah, he loves it. But like again, mate, he is someone I take my hat off to. I really, really do, mate. He's an absolute diamond. He is a diamond geezer.
Thank you, mate, so much for coming in. Before you go, and I'll let you pick up the kids and take them to wherever you're going, you've got some quick fire questions.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
You can take your time with them if you want to, mate.
They're not quick fire.
I reckon you'll be all right. Best footballer you've played with and against?
Steven Gerrard played with, Carvalho against.
Carvalho?
Yeah, very, very clever defender, mate. Pulls your shirt at the right time, pinches you, kicks you, so you're not looking at the ball. You take your eye off the ball, and that's when the ball comes. So if you do that enough, you're not looking where the ball is, you're looking where he is. So
nice.
And then when you give him a clump, he's rolling around, you get a yellow card. So he's a clever footballer. Not particularly strong, fast, quick, or anything like that. Just very, very clever, mate. Really, really clever. Yeah.
Good. What would you rather, scoring a match winner or a PB?
Match winner.
He sacks off carp fishing.
Nah, yeah.
Carp
Well,
fishing.
it depends in the game, really, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? If you're saying there's a FA Cup game against Shrewsbury, no. But but yeah, if you're saying a cup final, then yeah. So you know what I mean? There's a balance between that. They're very different. The PB is going to stay a PB, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? There's only one of those, like each time. So
I'll give you that. Fair play. 3 celebs you'd take fishing.
Megan Fox.
Oh God, yeah.
Just to look good. Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
And Maradona.
What a session that'd be.
Yeah.
Maradona.
Yeah.
Did you meet him?
No. I see him in Dubai actually in a shopping mall. So no, but no, I never met him. Never went over to him or anything like
Unbelievable. Favorite carp fishing venue?
Ooh.
Just one.
I'm going to say Grenville now.
Oh, he's gone.
Yeah.
That's it. The ticket's gone, mate. Scrapped up that Foxmere ticket. Never work out again or never carp fish again?
I'd have to carp fish.
You scrapped the workouts. There you go.
Yeah.
Job done. Football club you wish you'd played for?
Liverpool. I had a chance to go there and didn't. That's probably one of my only regrets.
Did you decide not to go?
Well, they put a bid in. Mohammed Al Fayed was the owner at Fulham.
Yeah.
And said no. I'd literally just had my twin girls, like a few days before.
Oh wow!
And then so the window was closing. Just had my twins. Just played for England. Was at Fulham. Liverpool bid, but that was Roy Hodgson, so he was my old manager. So I was like, do I want to uproot? The owner said, don't want to sell you, but I'll give you a new contract. So I was like, okay, I'll stay where I am.
For treble the money, mate. I'd stay where I am for treble the money.
Wasn't treble the money, but it was a better deal.
Harrods, mate. Come on, Al.
Yeah, I know. He gave us a free
what? Harrods
Free aftershave.
Free aftershave?
No.
A sample.
But that's probably my one regret. I didn't, because all the circumstances were they actually signed my contract and broke my leg the next day. So in the game. So
wow.
Yeah.
That's a sign. And I bet he was well happy with that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was, but
thanks for the aftershave.
Yeah. But
Liverpool, mate, it's pretty much north. You're fishing up there.
Yeah,
would be not the same.
I know, but
good decision, mate. Drum and bass or country and western music?
Drum and bass.
Oh, come on, mate. UK 60 or foreign 80?
UK 60.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that, man. I thought you could go foreign 80, mate.
Oh, UK 60. Mental.
Yeah, it's pretty mental. Final question. Night out on the bank or night in with the missus?
Ooh,
you beauty, yeah. There's a long pause.
Oh. Again, this depends on the circumstance, doesn't it? Wait, what lake you putting me at? What lake you putting me at?
You can pick your lake.
Ah, shit. Scrap it.
I'll put you on Nash Church Lake. Here, mate.
Oh, how many nights?
It's one night. You got to pick
one
it,
night.
One night with the missus, one night on a church.
We can get me on the church.
Good man. Bobby, thank you
Pleasure,
so
pal.
much, mate, for coming on. It's been brilliant to speak to you, mate. I massively appreciate you coming in. Thank you guys for watching and listening. I'll be back soon with another podcast. Until then, Bobby Zamora, thank you very much, mate.
Pleasure.